Hey everyone, welcome back with Bean O'Mac. Today we're going to look into comparing two of the WWF's 1999 releases. Aki will be represented by WWF WrestleMania 2000. Then, WWF Attitude will represent the controversial Acclaim. Without further ado, let's break it down. You all know what time it is. Yup, time for some statistics. WWF WrestleMania 2000 was developed by Aki Corporation exclusively for the Nintendo 64. It was first released on October 12th of 1999 and sold a total of 1.48 million worldwide. As mentioned earlier, Acclaim developed WWF Attitude and released it in Europe first on July 9th, 1999 on PlayStation consoles. Then it also released on N64 and later Dreamcast in Europe on August 9th and November 5th, respectively. North American audiences received their copies for PlayStation August 5th, then Nintendo 64 on August 31st, and finally on the Sega Dreamcast, November 9th, 1999. VideoGameCharts.com reports that the PS1 version sold a total of 1.76 million and 0.71 million on the N64. I wasn't able to find the sales numbers for the Dreamcast version, unfortunately. Back to gameplay. WrestleMania 2000 continues the Aki formula, where WCW NWO Revenge left off. You have weak grapples that do difficult to reverse moves but less damage. Strong grapples are easier to reverse but hold the signature moves of each wrestler. You replicate on-screen matches by building momentum by starting off with quicker moves before transitioning into signature attacks when you're ready to end things. If you do poorly by taking a beating, your momentum drops until it reaches blue and eventually danger mode. Then, after that state, your momentum heads back to normal to try and build up again. If you do well, it builds until the peak where it blinks, waiting for you to flick the analog stick to taunt. Once you do so, you enter the special state, where you can do finishers in a variety of positions for about 20 seconds. It follows a realistic match formula, but still has some arcadey aspects to make it fun. Attitude also has a similar idea, but very different execution. Acclaim tried to replicate the real-life action seen on TV, but to a much faster pace. To achieve this, Attitude has ready moves. Doing button combinations will result in different moves. People liken this to fighting games due to the nature of the combinations. You have access to more move options and tie-up. The combinations are simpler though, requiring less button presses. Wrestlers don't stay down for long in this game, at least, not initially. Wrestlers keep getting up after moves until they hit the stun state, where they are at the mercy of their oppressors. Mixing up your offense and not giving your opponent a chance to rest will eventually have the crowd get on your side. They will chant your name, and you will get a damage boost because of this. Moves are also much more likely to knock your victim out, and for much longer as well. Once an opponent's health reaches yellow, you can apply your trademark move, which is usually just a signature move, like the People's Elbow or Stone Cold's Luthez Press. Once in red, you can do your finisher to end the match. The position needs to be precise though. Guys like Triple H and Shawn Michaels have it easy due to their finishers being ready moves, but guys like Goldust, the Headbangers, and Brian Christopher have to wait for their opportunity to pull one off due to the positioning. A strange feature in these Acclaim games is that wrestlers talk crap or scream in agony during moves in the match.
On vacation. Edge is gonna.
It definitely adds to this game, but I wouldn't call it realistic in any way. A simple formula, but once you get used to the button combos, matches flow very quickly and fluidly. On Aki's side for match types, we have a decent amount. There's singles, tag team, triple threat, cage, and Royal Rumble options. You can edit match rules to allow for submission matches, First Blood, and Tornado Tag options. Not bad for the time, but Attitude has all these choices and more. You have all that was listed in 2000, as well as Lumberjack, Gauntlets, Survivor Series, Stable Matches, Battle Royal, War, Triangle, Handicap, and more match modifiers like I Quit, Finisher First matches, and Last Man Standing. As great as those sound, there is some context that needed to be added to some match types. Survivor Series is the 4-on-4 match, but only 2 wrestlers from each team can be on screen at all times. Then for Lumberjack matches, there are only 2 wrestlers outside the ring. Finally, for Royal Rumble matches, you always have to do a 30-man affair, where in WrestleMania 2000, you can have between 4 to 40 depending on which match variation you choose. Both games allow for some great options despite the limitations of the time. The presentations for these games are interesting. Both menus feature a metallic industrial look and feel. The arenas in Mania are pretty fantastic. They aren't one-to-one with what was on screen at the time, but I never really liked that curved entryway that the pay-per-view sets had at the time, so I honestly think the designs are better in this game. The overall aesthetic is pretty spot on though for the WWE at the time. Attitude takes a strange turn though. They have a few arenas, but none of them seem to be accurate. Maybe the house shows are, but I wasn't around at the time to confirm. For some reason on the Raw stage, they have stairs instead of a ramp. Also, it looks like they don't have padding outside of the ring, instead just having exposed concrete. Or maybe that's some sort of carpeting? I don't know. The barricades look fine, but the crowd still looks a little empty. There's finally some people on the ground level, but since they are 2D textures, they don't take up much space. The entrances in both are pretty decent, and have lighting effects and accurate themes. WrestleMania has the wrestler come out on stage, usually taunt, then head to the ring and taunt as well. WrestleMania also allows for tag entrances and managers too. Attitude for some reason can't have 4 entrances in a match or any tag entrances either. The wrestlers move pretty awkwardly at times too, but I don't think it's a big deal for the time. Attitude features commentary from Jerry Lawler and Shane McMahon of all people. Shane did commentary on Heat for a short while, but people didn't really seem to enjoy it very much. I'm assuming they may have wanted JR, but maybe the recording process took place during his unfortunate battle with Bell's palsy in 1999. It's honestly pretty great for the time and sounds more natural than most wrestling game commentary, honestly.
Tangled up. Perfectly executed. Oh no! Oh no! Shut off the ropes. Oh, that about? The assault continues. Look, King, he's afraid. Here's the tie-up. Target right back in the thick of it. Not really. The King just reverted to idiocy, his natural state.
2000 is devoid of match commentary though, so let's move on. Both rosters are very similar due to being released so close together. Attitude though has a lot of talent that was featured more around late 1998 and early 1999. Both games have the big names though, like Mankind, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, The Rock, The Undertaker, Kane, The Brood, X-Pac, The New Age Outlaws, The Godfather, Ken Shamrock, D'Lo Brown, Mark Henry, Val Venus, and Shawn Michaels as an unlockable. WrestleMania 2000 has a bigger roster, so naturally there are more exclusives. These include the likes of The Big Show, Chris Jericho, Shane McMahon, Vince McMahon, Test, Ivory, Gerald Briscoe, Pat Patterson, Michael Hayes, The Hardy Boys, Hardcore Holly, Meat, Midian, Viscera, Scott Too Hot Taylor, Prince Albert, Stephanie McMahon, The Blue Meanie, Tori, and finally Deborah. That's a lot more than Attitude, but Attitude still has some exclusives as well. Goldust, Mark Marrow, Sergeant Slaughter, Taka Michinoku, Kurgan, Sable, and Dr. Death Steve Williams. This game is notable for being the very last WWE game to feature the beloved Owen Hart. Two more strange exclusive wrestlers are the trainer from Attitude's predecessor Warzone and Head. You know, that thing Al Snow carries around that everybody needs. I think these games demonstrate how much the WWE was changing at the time. Both games offer very similar career modes. Road to WrestleMania is a full calendar year season mode. You select a wrestler and a partner and then win matches on a weekly basis. You start in April and go through notable WWE events at the time like the King of the Ring, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble, and, of course, WrestleMania 2000. You can win all of the 5 championships at the time too, like the World Heavyweight, Tag Team, Intercontinental, European, and Hardcore. The game keeps track of all your title wins and defenses for that year, and sometimes changes to the tag teams happen over time too. The main goal to complete this mode is to win the Royal Rumble and either win or successfully defend your WWF World Title at WrestleMania. There are minimal cutscenes in this mode, but maybe once or twice a season someone will randomly interfere in one of your matches for no reason, so you'll have to give them a beating next week. Attitude has career mode. You have the options to do a solo or tag run. What's noteworthy here is you can have up to 4 players in career mode at a time. In solo mode, you start off in the European Title League at number 20 and must defeat every single adversary to get a shot at the European Championship. You have a variety of match types you'll go through, including handicap and tag matches. Losing a match will have you drop down the rankings, while winning gets you to the next spot. Since you start out low on the totem pole, you only start out on house shows but eventually make your way up to Shotgun Saturday Night, Sunday Night Heat, and finally Monday Night Raw. Once you can go for the European title, you can compete at pay-per-views. You only get title matches at pay-per-views, so if you miss one for the month, you'll have to do grudge matches to protect your spot until you reach the pay-per-view. Once you win a title, you need to defend it 5 times before moving on to the next league, which is the Intercontinental Title League with 15 superstars in the rankings. Winning at pay-per-views is how you unlock wrestlers. For example, Mark Marrow and Sable are unlocked by winning at In Your House. Winning titles unlocks goofy cheats like Ego and Squeaky Mode. Once you win the world title, you clear the game without the need to defend it. The quickest way is to win the Royal Rumble, which puts you at an automatic shot at the title at WrestleMania. Both modes are really similar when you think about it, but they're different enough to stand out. It wouldn't be long until later games would change what the idea of a single player mode could be though. The creation options of these games were both pretty good at the time. WrestleMania 2000 allows you to create up to 8 belts using preset templates of WWF titles at the time. You can name them and then defend them while the game keeps track of the records. You can create up to 16 wrestlers in edit mode. You have the option to name them, pick their trons and music, edit their appearances, pick their moves, and set up their fighting styles and rivals. You can have 4 outfits for all custom characters just like the in-game superstars. In Attitude, you can create wrestlers as well. It's somewhat similar, honestly. You can create a unique appearance for your wrestler, which is pretty in-depth. Instead of using parts from everyone already in the game, Attitude uses custom parts to help your wrestler stand out more. You can even put text on certain parts of your wrestler too. Attitude also allows the creation of divas. This is something WrestleMania 2000 doesn't allow. I don't care what anybody says. Choosing a preset woman wrestler and changing some colors is not the same as crafting a totally unique female fighter. If you give Terry Runnels Stone Cold's moves or a custom moveset, it's still just Terry Runnels. You can also press the random button and see what sort of abomination is generated as well. Then there's naming them and distributing attribute points. You can copy pre-existing wrestler moves or build off of them. Or if you want, you can start from scratch. Each move has a size that takes up space for your moveset. This is so you don't have all your moves as finishers. You can still do that, but you won't have many moves if you do so. You can even set up button combos for moves as well. Finally, there's the personality traits. Does your call get cheers or boos? What's their theme and entrance animation? Who is going to run down to the ring to help them in matches? You also pick their voices. It can either be someone already in the game or some strange unused jobbers apparently voiced by Road Dogg.
It's time for a bloodbath!
Oh, you better recognize!
Oh, you didn't know?
Punishment, Dr. Deathstyle. Down! The Lord of Darkness will be well pleased.
Blood is thicker than water. Don't you think I'm sexy? Vegetables suck. Oh, that's good. You just remember, you elected me. Watch out, this dog's on the loose. You want ratings? Watch this.
You've been naughty, huh?
I bet you taste good marinated.
The final is fighting style, which I assume is AI settings, but I'm not 100% sure. Then you can save as many as your memory card can hold. Exclusive to Attitude is create an arena. Before each free play match, you can choose the stadium, ring lights, entry lights, ring aprons, curtains, colors for the posts, pads, and ropes, and then a few more options for various signs and banners around the arena. Unfortunately, you can't save any designs, but still way ahead of its time. Finally, both games allow for the option of creating pay-per-views. In Mania 2000, you can create 3 pay-per-views at a time with up to 15 matches each. You can name each non-title match, the area of origin, arena, and of course, title of the event. If you defend a belt on a pay-per-view, you must delete the pay-per-view before being able to defend it in free play. In Attitude, you can save multiple pay-per-views as well. In fact, you have to save it before being able to even play one. You name it, select up to 8 matches, which also includes the option of setting one up as a King of the Ring, then create the arena for the entire event and you're ready to go. Finally, it's time for extra modes. In WrestleMania 2000, we have King of the Ring mode. It's a tournament that allows for either single or teams to enter. 3 to 16 players are allowed. This is a single elimination tournament where the last man standing is the victor. King of the Ring also exists in Attitude, but it is always an 8-man tournament. The rules are the same though. In WrestleMania 2000, you have Data mode, where you can transfer titles and wrestlers onto your memory pack, and then trade them with your friends. I don't have any friends though. Though this isn't necessarily an extra mode, after winning titles in career mode, you have access to cheats in Attitude. These include Ego mode, Big Head mode, and Squeaky mode.
This will be fun! Lotus! I smell a TKO coming! Not connected.
Trivial, but I think they're fun. That's all for today's video though, fellas. What do you think about these titles? Are you here to support WrestleMania 2000? Are you glad someone didn't trash Attitude during a review? Either way, let's keep it classy in the comments below. If you enjoyed and want to see more Aki comparisons, reviews, and even the evolution of the series, click the like button, subscribe, and most importantly, ring the bell to be notified of Aki content every single Saturday and Sunday. But above all else, please remember to have a nice day.